Continued heroic efforts. During my time as commissioner in New York City for emergency management, at the very beginning of this pandemic, I had the privilege of speaking with the chief nursing officer at Elmhurst Hospital, which was at the time the epicenter of the epicenter in those very early days, and listened to her address the Department of Defense medical team as they were concluding their mission at their hospital. She said, with tears in her eyes, "You were the miracle we needed when we needed it most." DoD continues to deliver on those miracles every day as they stand shoulder to shoulder with the heroes working on the front line in your communities. Yesterday, I spoke with Governors Whitmer and DeWine, who both said separately that these teams, in addition to adding more clinical capacity, are a morale boost to the doctors, the nurses, and the support staff in the hospitals that they're working in. And they have been working day and night to save
Surprise. We live, baby.
So now DoD is deploying 6 additional teams to Ohio, Michigan, Rhode Island, New Jersey, New York, and New Mexico.
Come get your girl.
We will also be deploying an additional HHS team to Rhode Island. And in the next several weeks, we are prepared to do more.
Okay.
These teams are in addition to more than the more than 1,000 staff that are already deployed to 26 states, 2 territories, the District of Columbia, and 24 tribal
Oh, you was watching
nations.
Hotep's Been Told You, Trish?
And since March of 2020, since the beginning of this pandemic, thousands of federal personnel have deployed all over our country. As critical as our doctors and nurses are, countless other professionals keep our hospitals running.
Fair use, fair use.
Patient transporters, food workers, and cleaning staff are all at the heart of these healthcare facilities. And so for that reason, with the President's support, I am now directing an expansion of our FEMA policy to permit funding to states who elect to use their National Guard troops to fill these critical as our doctors and hospitals. During every disaster, FEMA's strength is our ability to coordinate with other states part of these healthcare facilities. And so for that reason, with the President's support, I am now directing an expansion of our FEMA policy to permit funding to states who elect to use their National Guard troops to fill these critical support roles in hospitals.
Inflation.
During every disaster,
inflation.
FEMA's strength is our ability to coordinate with other stakeholders, federal, state, local, tribal, private, and nonprofit partners to identify gaps and meet needs. And this COVID mission has been no different. We meet with our DoD, HHS, and other federal partners daily to anticipate future needs and fill those requests. FEMA has also been supporting communities across the country through nearly $100 billion in funding for all types of COVID-related needs, including vaccination, safely opening and operating schools and other public facilities, and testing, thanks to an unprecedented commitment by this administration. This funding, combined with the extraordinary work of DoD, HHS, and our other federal partners, has enabled states and local communities to fight this pandemic, save lives, and protect families. This pandemic has shifted and changed through the Delta variant and now the Omicron variant, but our commitment and the commitment of the entire federal family has not changed. Together, we will continue to surge staff, push resources, and provide support using every tool that we have available to fight our fight against COVID-19. Thank you. I'll take a few questions.
All right. Lisa. Thank you, and thank you so much for being here, Administrator. Manpower is one thing, but I know you've talked about in the past, too, having to make sure they have somewhere to work and that there are hospital beds. So for these 6 particular states and hospitals that have been identified, are you building out capacity, adding more physical space for the teams to work?
In these specific states, these 6 states, we are just sending staff. That is the request that they had. Our regional administrators have been in constant communication with our state emergency management directors and state public health directors throughout this pandemic, and we have been conducting recently facility expansion assistance to all of the states. Right now, we've had a few states that have requested some assistance in helping to identify where they may be able to expand, but we've had no specific requests to expand hospital capacity outside of maybe setting up a tent outside of their emergency room to be able to support triage efforts.
Thank you. Alex? Oh.
I do have a question. This has been a year of unprecedented natural disasters, as well as obviously a global pandemic that has no end in sight at this point. Are you largely relying on ARP funding, or are you hoping to get more funding from the administration going forward as we're looking at another year of ongoing challenges?
Yeah, the funding that FEMA uses is through our Disaster Relief Fund, and right now, for all the requirements that we have on our plate, we have enough funding within that to meet all of those demands.
Jeremy?
Thank you, Administrator, for doing this. What kind of feedback were you getting from governors or hospitals that led to this decision and this added flexibility? And then secondly, I'm also wondering, next week there's, I guess, 120 military members going as part of the 6-state deployment. That's out of the, I think, 1,000 military members that the President has said he would mobilize this coming month. So why are you only sending 120 right now at a time when there are nearly 24 states, I think, that have 85% plus ICU bed capacity? Are there not more requests coming in, or what are you waiting for to deploy the rest of that 1,000?
Yeah, great questions. And so on the first question, remind me the first question again real fast.
The feedback that you're getting from
Right.
governors and
So,
hospitals. that led to this.
so again, my regional administrators, they've been communicating with our state directors daily. And one of the things that we have heard recently is, while we do need medical staffing, there's a lot of other functions within the hospital that need additional staffing, in particular because of the Omicron variant and how it's taking other staff within the hospital out. And so we've been able to expand our policy in order to make sure that we're providing whatever type of resources are available to keep those hospitals functioning. So an incredible step forward to make sure that they can keep moving. As far as where we're at with the deployment of personnel going out, the Department of Defense, through FEMA, we have been sending Department of Defense personnel out throughout this pandemic. We sent several teams out during the Delta surge, and we started to evaluate what we thought the impacts would be for the Omicron variant earlier in December. And that's where the initial announcement was made that we were going to send 1,000 additional personnel from the Department of Defense. As we get requests from our state partners for what they need, these are the requests that we have right now, and we're filling those based on when they can receive them.
Peter?
Thank you for the question. So what's the point of now sending N95 or KN95 masks out to Americans if a lot of those masks are just single daily use? Like somebody wears it once, then what?
Masks save lives, I think, is the important thing here. And we want to make sure that everybody has the tools and resources that they need in order to protect themselves and their families.
Go in the back.
Administrator, thank you so much for taking my question. I just want to ask you, is there any plan, you said your agency is willing to do more, but is there any plan to set up perhaps more of those mass testing sites, federally run testing sites or the vaccination sites to help stop the spread, but also get people tested? We know that the administration is planning to send out those rapid tests, but the PCR test, of course, is more accurate. So is there a plan to do more in some of those hard-hit states across the country?
Absolutely. So again, we're working with our states to identify what their needs are. There's many parts of the country that have built up internal capacity across their states, but those areas that need that additional testing sites, we are available to set those up. We've been partnering with the Centers for Disease Control, and we are setting those up now, and we'll continue to do so, as the states need them and as they request them.
Brian is going to have the last one.
Thanks a lot, Administrator. When you came on in April and FEMA's had mass vaccination sites that it's rolled out, I think that one of the questions is right now the President just announced that they're going to triple a stockpile of PPE, get masks out to Americans, and also try to expand the testing capacity and home test kits. Did FEMA weight too much of its resources toward vaccinations, or should it have also been surging that capacity months ago in testing and PPE?
FEMA's role has always been to support our hospitals, our schools, and our public service agencies. We have been supporting them through the delivery and reimbursement for PPE, for the medical staff that we're sending out. That has not changed, and that support will continue. The additional support that's coming out for the general population is something that FEMA does not participate in, and those are the issues that, or the items that you're hearing are going to be announced and available to the general public later.
When it comes to testing sites, FEMA's rolled out public testing sites. Why not surge public testing sites 3 months ago in anticipation that there would be surges of variants?
Again, we're working with our states routinely, and we're hearing what their needs are, and we're basing our support to them on what they need. And so as they request additional assistance, that's when we come together and give them the assistance that they need.
Thank you, Administrator Criswell. Appreciate you coming. You're
Thank you,
always
Jen.
welcome and invited.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. I know, again, we have short time here, so I just have 2 items for you at the top.
About
Since
5
President
minutes.
Biden signed the bipartisan infrastructure law 60 days ago, the Biden-Harris administration has hit the ground running to deliver results. We've made key progress toward implementing the largest long-term investment in America's infrastructure and competitiveness in nearly a century. The Department of Transportation today announced a historic investment under the bipartisan infrastructure law to modernize, repair, and replace approximately 15,000 bridges nationwide. That's a lot of bridges. This is the single largest dedicated bridge investment since the construction of the interstate highway system and provides more than $27 billion to states and tribal transportation facilities. Obviously, there will be more to come, and you'll hear the president soon. Another little bit of news for all of you, and we'll have more on the week ahead, I expect, in the coming days. But next Wednesday, the president will hold a formal press conference at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So we look forward to seeing you there, and to the president looks forward to speaking directly to the American people. I'm going to try to go to the people who didn't get questions and then come back around if that works. So go ahead.
I wanted to follow up on the cyber attack against the Ukraine. I know the NSC said it was too soon to attribute the attack, but could you say where early indications are pointing?
Well, let me first say that because I know there's been a lot of questions, understandably, on this. So let me try to address a few of them as well, if that's okay. The United States and our allies and partners are concerned about this cyber attack, and the president has been briefed. We are also in touch with the Ukrainians and have offered our support as Ukraine investigates the impact and nature and recovers from the incidents. We don't have attribution at this time, and I can't point to any more specifics. I know the Ukrainians also announced and conveyed that they got their systems up and running pretty quickly and that personal data was not accessed. We will continue to, of course, work with them and assess any additional impacts. We're continuing to consult with allies and partners, including Ukraine, on this. You might have also seen NATO's statement as well, which says that they are also exchanging information with Ukraine. So that's where the status stands right now. I think it's important to note the Ukrainian statements on this, which convey very, very clearly that they were able to get their systems up and running.
If it is determined that Russia was behind the attack, how would the U.S. respond to that?
I'm just not going to speculate on that or preview what actions we would take at this time. I would just note that we will take necessary and proper steps, of course, to defend our allies, support our partners, and support the Ukrainian people, but we're still assessing that at this point in time.
Could you describe in a little more detail what sort of support the U.S. has been providing Ukraine on the cyber front, like over the last few months?
I'm happy to check with our team and see if we can detail that more to all of you specifically. We have been in touch with them, working with them on many levels, and certainly the threat of cyber attacks is something that has impacted a number of countries throughout Europe, throughout the world. We're providing, of course, best practices, the expertise we have in the U.S. government, but I can see if we can detail that more specifically. Chris, go ahead.
I know there have been some challenges this week, but zooming out kind of even more, what's your message to Democratic voters out there who said they voted for lawmakers to protect voting rights, turn the tide on global warming, lower prescription drug prices, reform police departments, raise the minimum wage, tackle student debt, and have gotten none of it?
Our message to them is that we're still fighting for absolutely every component of what you just listed, and that right now we're dealing with the realities of the fact that we have a very slim majority in the Senate and in the House. That makes things more challenging than they have been in the past. I would also note, and I bet a lot of Americans who have conveyed their advocacy for a lot of those issues the president cares deeply about, have also cared deeply about getting the pandemic under control, have also cared deeply about ensuring schools are open across the country, that small businesses are functioning, that our economy is up and running. And those have been the top issues basically in every piece of data we've seen across the board. So the message from the president to them is he is committed to continuing to fight. You heard him say this week that voting rights, the rights of people to express their views at the polls is something that is fundamental to him, and he's going to stay at it.
One last thing. Do you have any news for us on the president holding a formal news conference?
I just announced one at the top. Chris, we've just caught you.
You have.
It's okay. I now relate to your teachers in high school and what they may have experienced, but it's okay.
I'll look for the media clip.
Yeah, there you go. It's to be fair, it is a Friday and a very busy news week, so everybody should take any pressure off of Chris. Go ahead. Yes, go ahead. And we have not met before, so welcome to the briefing room.
Thank you. Is the president planning any sort of staff shakeup or changes at the White House given recent setbacks, including inflation at a 40-year high, the Supreme Court blocking the vaccine mandate, and the collapse of voting rights legislation?
Well, I would say the other way to look at the last year is that 200 million Americans are now vaccinated. More than 80% of Americans have received at least one dose. If you look back to a year ago, only about 35% of people were willing to do that. Through the president's action and leadership, we have made vaccines available across the country. Boosters, we have provided more supply to the global community, 400 million doses, than any other country in the world. We've had record economic growth in this country. We have record low unemployment rates in this country. And we are getting out of a pandemic and the economic downturn tied to it at a rate that is faster than anyone thought would have happened. We have confirmed more judges that look like America, that are diverse like this country, than almost any other administration in history. And again, the truth is, an agenda doesn't wrap up in 1 year. We are going to continue to fight for every component of his agenda and his plans for his presidency that he outlined when he was running for president.
Can you confirm that a coronavirus emergency spending request is coming, and what details can you provide on that?
Well, we are always in touch with Congress and leaders in Congress about what needs the American people have as we continue to fight the pandemic. That has been the case continuously throughout the pandemic. And that remains the case today. I don't have anything to preview for you, but I would just echo what Speaker Pelosi said over the weekend, a couple days ago, where she said that we weren't going to let resources get in the way of fighting the pandemic. That continues to be our view, but I have nothing to preview at this point in time. But those conversations are ongoing. Go ahead.
Thank you. I have a couple of questions, and one from my colleague at VOA.
Sure.
My first question is, the administration's response as hundreds of nurses with the National Nurses United held demonstrations demanding for safer COVID conditions, and they talked about there's not necessarily a shortage of nurses, but many are not willing to work in what they feel like are unsafe conditions and feel like some of the protections are being weakened.
Well, I would say first that we believe there should be strict and stringent requirements in medical and in hospitals and medical facilities to keep the people who are working there safe and also to keep the patients safe. And I would just note that yesterday the Supreme Court continued to is allowing for the CMS requirement to move forward, which is an important component of keeping people who are patients safe, but also keeping workers in a lot of facilities safe. A number of hospital systems across the country have implemented vaccine requirements, which we certainly support, and they've been very successful. So we continue to encourage others to do the same.
With MLK coming, is there anything that we can expect to hear from the president? Any type of new strategy, any plan, and what is he going to be doing on that day?
I expect we'll have more details. I certainly understand the interest. We're dealing with Mother Nature here with the storm, and so we are adjusting and making some plans for how he will commemorate a very important day in our history. But I expect we'll have more details for that, hopefully in the next 24 hours.
From VOA, just a quick question. Confirmation on that the U.S. has information that indicates Russia has pre-positioned a group of operatives to conduct a false flag operation in eastern Ukraine, as reported by CNN.
Yeah, I do have some detail on this. Let me confirm for you. So, as you all have heard us say many times, we are concerned that the Russian government is preparing for an invasion in Ukraine that may result in widespread human rights violations and war crimes should diplomacy fail to meet their objectives. As part of its plans, Russia is laying the groundwork to have the option of fabricating a pretext for invasion. And we've seen this before. We saw this before leading up to 2014, just to note, including through sabotage activities and information operations, by accusing Ukraine of preparing an imminent attack against Russian forces in eastern Ukraine, and the Russian military plans to begin these activities several weeks before a military invasion, which could begin between mid-January and mid-February. Again, we saw this playbook before, including the widespread effort to push out misinformation, not just in Eastern Europe, but around the global community. We have information that indicates Russia has already pre-positioned a group of operatives to conduct a false flag operation in eastern Ukraine. The operatives are trained in urban warfare and in using explosives to carry out acts of sabotage against Russia's own proxy forces. Our information also indicates that Russian influence actors are already starting to fabricate Ukrainian provocations in state and social media to justify a Russian intervention and sow divisions in Ukraine. For example, Russian officials and influence actors are emphasizing narratives about the deterioration of human rights in Ukraine and the increased militancy of Ukrainian leaders. This is all the spreading of misinformation. These media narratives also blame the West for escalating tension, highlight humanitarian issues in Ukraine that Russian intervention could solve, and promote Russian patriotism to encourage domestic support for military action. And finally, during December, Russian language content on social media covering all three of these narratives increased to an average of nearly 3,500 posts per day, a 200% increase from the daily average in November. So it's important to note what people are seeing out there and to call out this misinformation that is being spread to as a false flag operation, and there's a number of tactics that they're using in that regard. Let me go to the back. Go ahead.
Thank you, Jan. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said today that Moscow have run out of patience with the West. So how passionate is President Biden with Russia's aggressive behavior? And another one, the AFP news agency reports that Ukraine proposes three-way crisis summit with President Biden, Putin, and Zelensky. Are you open to such a format?
I have nothing to preview in terms of the next steps on negotiations or talks. Everybody's back in their capitals now having conversations about that. I will note that the president's view and our view is that this is up to President Putin and Russia to determine what the path forward is. We are ready regardless of what they decide. If they decide they're going to invade Ukraine, there are going to be economic consequences that go far beyond 2014. If they decide they want to engage in diplomatic conversations and talks, we are very open to that, and we're hopeful they will do that. But ultimately, it's a choice they need to make. And so I would suggest you ask them that question. Go.
What about the President Biden's patience with what Russia is doing?
Again, it's not about that. It's about Russia deciding what
Trump
path
ain't
they're
had
going to
these
take. Go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
Hi, so President Biden yesterday said that he will be providing, or the administration will be providing, high-quality masks to Americans for free.
Yeah.
However, health experts have been saying for quite some time now that better masks are crucial against Omicron. So why is the White House late to making them available for free?
We aren't. We actually have already provided 30 million masks across the country. We have built a stockpile of 750
She
million
said, not
masks
those types of masks,
in the government.
Saki.
And this is about
Let's not
expanding
sidestep
and
the
building
question, Saki.
upon providing high quality masks out to people across the country. And I would say of the money that was used from the American Rescue Plan to keep schools open, some of that was
Inflation.
used for PPE. A lot of funding that has already been approved over the course of the last year plus has been used for PPE as well. So this is building on those steps. I just want to get around to everybody. Oh, go ahead.
Just one more. So Kamala Harris is put in charge of voting rights. Why wasn't she with the president at the crucial Senate lunch to sell the bill?
Well, the vice president has been selling the bill across the country, obviously delivering speeches, providing, engaging and meeting with activists. She was also working the phones over the last couple of days and has played a pivotal role. No question, and will continue to moving forward. Go ahead.
Thanks so much, Jen.
Oh, wait, actually, let me just make sure I get to everybody and then I'll come around. Go ahead.
Thanks, Jen. Last March, President Biden signed an executive order encouraging federal agencies to help expand access to the ballot. Can you get an update on how federal agencies have dealt with that in the past year or so?
In terms of how they've implemented it and steps they've taken, we can absolutely get you one and get you one from what agency to agency, what they've been doing. And that was something.
in Congress, could we expect any more executive orders
They
like
hold
that? or
presses at the
actions
same
from
time,
the
so you
federal
can't watch
government
all
to
of them
help
at the
the
same
fire?
time.
I will say we are going to continue to look for ways to protect and expand the rights of the American people to.
All right, that's enough, Saki. Let's get into the Joe Rogan situation. Right now, I need all my great people. I need all my great people to go share the stream out. We're about to get into this. Dang. I just needed to buy time to get you guys here and finish my research. You should see this on the screen now, right? Wonderful. This is my Twitter mentions. As you already know, we're about to run through the trending topics. Then we're gonna get into the Joe Rogan situation and dissect that. Shout out to the homies. Shared you see him on the screen here. Shout out to Jabari, Kingdom Dad, Renee. Hit the share button in Twitter. Tag me. Get a retweet from yours truly. Let's go to the trending topics. Let's dive right in here. Bong. We want voting rights. You would think people in this country can't vote the way these people are acting. This is number one. This is a distraction, people. This is an entire distraction. Wordle, some game, fun distraction. Friday feeling. Hopefully people feel good in that hashtag. Trey Barker has dropped an NFT distraction. Joe Rogan is the topic we're going to be talking about today. We're going to get into that. We're going to look at the Daily Beast article. We're going to look at the Rolling Stone article. Then we're going to look into the lives of some of these scientists that have come against him. Show us your stripes. This is Bengals, distraction. Variety, FX show, distraction. Pine Knob, music theater, distraction. Tim Allen, distraction. Happy birthday to Young Wan, distraction. Ukraine, this is what Saki was talking about before. Jen Psaki. So apparently they got hacked and there's some tension between them and Russia. I don't know what this is. Turnpike, fans of Turnpike, Troubadours. Okay, that's distraction. Sorry for the wait. Lil Wayne dropped his old mixtape with 4 new songs. Distraction. Even though I like Lil Wayne, he's my guy. Fauci Act. GOP senator plans to introduce a Fauci Act after a clash. Let's look at this real fast. It says here, Senator Roger Marshall plans to introduce the Fauci Act, which will require the Office of Government Ethics website to list the financial records of officials like Dr. Anthony Fauci. Wow. That sounds like something I can get behind. Hold on. Something's missing. Y'all know something's missing. Something is missing. Bong. Let's go here.
Hi.
Shut up. Let's bring this up. We can't start without Ami.
From Sustainably Minded.
Be quiet. There we go. Ami's back. I need Ami in the background, just doing his classical music thing. So that sounds like something I would support. All right. Need some transparency in Congress. Let's continue. Jim Phillips. Who's this? Probably distraction. ACC commissioner. Yeah, distraction. Granny Smith. What is the best type of apple? Distraction, on sale now. Distraction. Earl Sweatshirt. Distraction. Catco. 1 of 10 Republicans who voted to impeach Trump will not seek re-election. That's hilarious. Oh wow! It's authored, has also co-authored the bill to create 9/11 style commission to investigate. It wasn't that big to be investigated, man. They're making this thing to be out bigger than what it really is. Corday, shout out to Corday. Distraction. Distraction. Russia FSB says it's shut down the notorious rebel ransomware gang. So, same time Ukraine gets hacked, Russia's saying they took down a infamous hacker group. Looks like God of War is doing some interesting things on PC here. Whatever. All right, great. Good to see you. Let's dive into the main topic of today. They're attacking the homie, the godfather of the real revolution, Mr. Joe Rogan. If you're new here, I am
Hotep Jesus dude.
I am Hotep Jesus. Welcome to my stream. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. Subscribe to participate in the chat. Subscribe to get notified when we go live. I got Kim Clayson coming on later tonight. It's gonna be fire. We're gonna talk politics. We're gonna talk. I think I might ask her about her beef with Candace Owens. Depends on how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling petty, I might ask her. If I'm feeling nosy, I might ask her. If it's in the flow of conversation, I might ask her. I think we're going live at 7 p.m. right here. So make sure y'all tune in. Get that wonderful gift. SV instead said off topic, but your damn soundboard made me want to watch X-Files again and made me go back to my conspiracy roots. Thank you, HJ. Welcome back, bro. He said that bill would never pass with the title Governmental Transparency Act. Here's a better title. I like that. Willie Handy said homegirl on the right throwing up gang signs. Don't do that. Oh, all right, here we go. Let's dive into some Joe Rogan news. Let's see what Twitter said. Twitter says, in an open letter to Sponsor Y270 Science and health professionals said the Joe Rogan Experience podcast is broadcasting misinformation, particularly regarding the COVID-19 pandemic, and urged the streaming service to take action against misinformation on its platform. Okay, wonderful. Good to know. Good to know. So let's go into let's go to the Rolling Stone article first. As you know, I'm going to make my highlights here. So it says here, an infectious disease epidemiologist and research fellow at Boston Children's Hospital who debunks health misinformation on Instagram, where she has more than 380,000 followers. Hold on. Okay. 380,000 followers. Jessica Malati Rivera regularly receives tips from her followers about viral content to debunk. Now, this is a very potent first paragraph here. We have to break this down little by little. So first of all, does anybody know what an epidemiologist is? You know what we do on this channel? We look things up that we don't know. Let's look into it. Let's look into it. Epidemiologist, let's highlight it. And let's look, what does this person do? Epidemiologist. What exactly does an epidemiologist do? Epidemiologists are public health workers who investigate patterns and causes of disease and injury. They seek to reduce the risk and occurrence of negative health outcomes through research, community education, and health policy. What does this say? Epidemiologists are health workers who investigate patterns and causes of disease and injury. Work in offices and laboratories, usually at health departments of state and local governments and hospitals and colleges and universities. You know what these people are? Do you know what these people are? These people are glorified data scientists. She's a scientist. She ain't really like a scientist, if you know what I mean. Like, she's a doctor, but she ain't really a doctor, if you know what I mean. So let's just qualify her right there. Now, what's the next piece here? Let's make sure you can see this. I want to make sure you can see this. Okay, beautiful. You can see that. Wonderful. Let's continue. So it says here, she has more than 380,000 followers. Let's go there. Here's Ms. Rivera's account. First thing right here, she's updating this misinformation. And you see her post here. 41K likes, 1,500 comments. Are you a doctor or are you an influencer? You can't be doing too much science if you got this many followers. You're doing too much social media. You're doing a lot of social media. That's what you're doing. A whole lot of social media. A lot of appearances. Right? Appearances on, as you see here. Look right here. CNN. Got it right up there. CNN. There she is. Got a lot of clout. Doctor. Scientist. Pretty popping, aren't you? Oh my God. See, CNN again. See, they just love you. You just surely should be trusted. You've been on CNN several times. Are you a doctor or are you an actress? Are you an influencer? Are you an IG babe? I'm starting, look, here we are again. More. This is like their go-to person. She's a socialite. Look at it right here. Look at the propaganda. You see it right there? Got him. You know they political leanings. This isn't a science conversation. This is a political conversation. This isn't a science conversation. This is a political conversation. This has nothing to do with bugs or viruses. This has everything to do with who you vote for and how you think, the words you use, whose feelings you hurt. This is not a science conversation. This is a political one. This is a political conversation. Caught him. Look at the little girl right there. Look at the little girl looking at Kamala getting sworn in. Greatest day of her life. More CNN. More CNN. More CNN. Oh, she going super hard. RIP to the homie Chadwick. More CNN. More CNN. She is on fire. She is on fire. I'm surprised I haven't seen BLM up here yet. I'm not done going through her profile. So this is before, I think we found a part of her profile before she figured out how to get famous. All right, these have a fewer likes. Let's go. Let's dive into some other information on this. See, look where we are. Look where we are. We already had to break down things. Look where we are. We haven't even passed the first 3 lines of the Rolling Stone article, and we already on some shit. Hold on, let me head back to Twitter real fast to make sure. Okay, I just want to make sure if you guys tag me in any tweets, I was there to retweet it. Okay, I just got a Victor of Life, thank you, got you, thank you for the share. Steph Colonel, appreciate you for the share. And Pete All Night, thank you for the share. Haram Life, thank you for the share. That's 4 retweets right there. You guys are the true MVPs, helping the people get this wonderful information. Let's go back to the back two. So, I just farted, my bad. Let's pull this up. Let's go here. Let's go there. Boom, boom. Put this on your screen in 2.5 seconds. Right there. Jessica Malati Rivera, MS. Y'all see that, right? Y'all see that? Now, there's a couple of red flags. The first one right here is this right here. San Francisco. Killer Cali. They don't like folks like us around there. They don't like folks like Joe Rogan out in Cali. Commie Cali. California. And then there's another one here. Boom. What I tell y'all about pronouns in the bio? What did I tell y'all about pronouns in the bio? This isn't a science conversation. It's a political one. This isn't a science conversation. It is a political one. I don't have to refute the science. I just got to prove that you got a political agenda, as we all do. But yours is just, oh wow, you work for Netflix, creating that good propagandas. Propagandas. So that's her profile. So this is Jessica Malati Rivera, right? So again, let's show you one more time. The 3 warning signs. There's 3 clear warning signs. And I'm sure I could find more, but we're just gonna go with these 3. We're gonna go down. CNN is really number 4. And being on there that many times is already blatantly disrespectful to humanity. It's just, where is it? Did I pass it? Right here. Boom. Put that on your screen. Red flag number 1. January 20, 2021. See, Pryor was complaining about the 6. There's red flag number 1. Red flag number 2 is right here, San Francisco Bay Area, California, Killer Cali. And right here is number 3, pronouns in the bio. That's all you got to know about these people. It's right there. This is your red flags. This is when you know, pump the brakes. Some BS is afoot. BS is afoot. Thank you for people paying your donation. I got some Bitcoin yesterday from the homies. Chad was one of them. I appreciate you. Antonov sent me $10. He said shout out to Kanye and Russian Hoteps like me. Shout out to my Russian homies. Appreciate you for the Cash App, $ Hotep Jesus. Appreciate all you guys contribute to the class, paying your tuition and not grifting. Let's see. Let's go back to the article. Wow. Cool. So we've dissected Jessica to be a left-wing liberal, potentially a socialist communist. So she says she regularly receives tips from her followers. Now this right here, this is the pressure. This is called peer pressure. Regularly receives tips from her followers. This is the peer pressure. We got a Daily Beast article to go over too. And then we're going to dive into another piece of literature, the actual letter that they wrote. We're going to dive into that as well. Jessica Malati Rivera regularly receives tips from her followers. So this is the pressure from the outside. Hey, Jessica, you got 300,000 followers. You're our go-to. You're our social media warrior leader, right? This is their icon. Social media warrior icon. Social justice warrior archetype icon. So it says a few weeks ago, her followers started sending her a link to an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience. Shout out to her followers for sharing that great information. That awesome content. The most popular podcast in the world. Hey, it is what it is. He's popular for a reason. Because they tired of your shit. The episode was an interview with Dr. Robert Malone, a virologist who touts himself as one of the architects of mRNA technology. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Just common sense. Let's put the politics aside for a second, right? On one hand, you got an epidemiologist, which is just a glorified data scientist. All they do is look at data and numbers and trends and try to figure out what's going on. The problem with that is, and I forgot to mention this before, the problem with you being a data scientist surrounding the demic is the fact that the data is corrupted, so everything you say is going to be BS from there on forth because your source is BS. Some of the deaths is without, but false positives and the data is corrupt. You can't do data science on corrupt data. You cannot do data science on corrupt data. It just doesn't work. So basically, she should be unemployed. She should be unemployed. There's no need. We don't need her. Until we get good data, we don't need her. What is she gonna do? She should just stick to being an Instagram model. That's what she should do. Anyway, epidemiologist, right? And Dr. Robert Malone is a virologist. Now, who would you trust on the issue of a virus? If there is a virus going around the world, who are you going to trust? You're going to trust some epidemiologist who is so far removed from the problem that they can't help, at least not in a very meaningful way? Or you're going to trust the guy who studies viruses to tell you about the virus? Not only that, he created a technology that goes into vacation. He created a technology that goes into vacation. He was part of that project. One of the lead scientists that was part of the project of creating the technology that goes into vacation that they want everybody to get. And he's a virologist. He actually studies the thing that this whole entire worldwide event is surrounding. Who are you trusting? The data scientist that's sitting in the cubicle, or the person that actually studied the thing that we're worried about? Let's be honest, people here. This is just common sense. You know what, Jessica? If you have a problem with Dr. Malone and you got a problem with Joe Rogan, how about we do this? I have the solution. Take your ass up there to the Joe Rogan Experience and have a conversation with Dr. Malone. How about you do that? Since you don't like what he has to say, how about you be an adult and stop being a Karen and writing letters and whatnot to get people fired? You're being a Karen. You're writing letters. Oh, you got to fire him. He's got misinformation. No, take your ass up to the Joe Rogan Experience and challenge his views live. You won't do that. You know why? You know why? Because your science is standing on a house of cards. That's what your science is standing. Your foundation is feeble. Your arguments are shaky. Let's be honest, people. What are we really doing here? Let's continue. It says Rivera was familiar with Rogan. Of course you are. He's the world's most popular podcaster. Of course you are. As well as Malone. Oh, so you know about Malone. You know about him. She knew that. Malone had been banned from Twitter. This is what Twitter did. They was like, oh no, you might make people smart. You're not allowed to tell the truth online. God forbid people find out the truth. They might realize we lied to them or we're incompetent. So we gotta ban them from promoting Ninja Turtle misinformation. And that he had been making the rounds in conservative media circles, undermining the efficacy of the vacation. Undermining the efficacy. He doesn't even have the ability to affect the vacation. The vacation gonna do what it do. He's not Doctor Strange. He can't just take components out of the vaccine. How can he undermine the efficacy of the vacation? Check your words. You're not using precise language. I caught you, Rolling Stone. Get it together. Who is the writer? AJ Dixon. Get it together. When she watched the interview, she was horrified to see that he espoused various conspiratorial and baseless beliefs. Baseless. They keep using this word, baseless. Your base is a deck of cards, a house of cards. That's what your base is. From the idea that mass formation psychosis is responsible for people believing in the efficacy of vacations. But where's the lie in that, Jessica? To claim the popular among anti-vacationers, the hospitals are financially incentivized to falsely diagnose. Now you're trying to say that's not true? I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to touch it until it comes out and it's on Rolling Stones. And we're going to come back and we're going to pull up the Rolling Stone article for when y'all finally admit what was going on. But we know what was going on. I don't have the sources from the outlets that the people trust. So I'll wait for the outlets that the people trust, come back to this video clip and then show y'all and then show y'all how what they were saying back in the day when they said these was false claims. And then later on, I hope you come back and you update this article and let everybody know. You should run a special on it too. The episode featuring Malone went viral and was shared widely in right-wing media circles, as well as on Facebook, where the link on Spotify had been shared nearly 25,000 times, according to Crowd Dangle data. It continues and says, yet Rivera was even more horrified to discover, horrified. She was horrified. Really? Horrified? Come on, stop it. discovered that people in her life whom she considered to be quite wise and discerning. Yeah, these are wise and discerning people. Are you, Jessica? She says they were hoodwinked by Malone's patina of academic credibility. I don't even know this word. We're going to look it up, though, so I know it now.
Patina.
Patina. The impression or appearance of something. The patina. By Malone's patina of academic credibility. These writers, their vocabulary is stupid. They just be finding words nobody used just to throw them in a goddamn paragraph. Ain't nobody said patina before. A patina of academic credibility, considering his views on the vacation legitimate. We already covered what his expertise is. We already covered the expertise. When I say they were falling victim to this, I spoke to some colleagues and we said something has to be done at this point, she says. Rivera, one of 270 doctors, physicians, and science educators who signed an open letter. Oh, there's an open letter, huh? You know what? Let's go right to that letter. Let's go right to it. Let's go right to this letter. Boom, you should see it on your screen now. Shout out to Haram Life. He said, notice they never debate the actual misinformation. They just say it's misinformation. Correct. This is exactly what they do. They come out and say it's misinformation, but it's like, all right, what about it? So you see, I got my highlights here. This is the letter that they've penned to Joe Rogan. We're going to go through the letter. Make sure you guys are fully abreast to the situation so you can talk about it in an educated manner with your normie friends. On December 31st, 2021, the Joe Rogan Experience, a Spotify exclusive podcast, uploaded a highly controversial episode featuring guest Dr. Robert Malone, number 1757. Epic. Epic. The episode has been criticized. Hold on a second. Let me see something real fast. Come on. The episode has been criticized for promoting, again, here they keep using this term, baseless conspiracy theories. And the JRE has a concerning history of broadcasting misinformation. Particularly regarding the Ninja Turtle pandemic. By allowing the propagation of false and societally harmful assertions, Spotify is enabling its hosted media to damage public trust. You're damn right. We need to damage public trust because public trust is trusting some stupid shit. CG said Malone invented it. His name is on the patent. If you can't talk about it, who can? Exactly. Yes, we want to damage public trust because these shouldn't be trusting you. Let's continue. In scientific research and sow doubt in the credibility of data-driven. See right here? Again, data-driven. If the data is corrupt, you can't drive the data. The data can't be driven if the data is corrupt. Stop it. Just stop. You can fool them, you can't fool me. You can fool them, you can't fool a Hotep. And the credibility of data-driven guidance offered by medical professionals. JRE 1757 is not the only transgression. Let's look this word up. An act that goes against law, rule, or code of conduct. An offense. This is how they talking about the Godfather. Transgression. This ain't no rule. This ain't no law. This ain't no code of conduct. And what he said wasn't an offense. Ain't no transgression. Because none of this shit is law. At least not for us. For medical professionals it is after the SCOTUS hearing yesterday with OSHA. What are you talking about? Let's continue. To occur on the Spotify platform, but a relevant example of the platform's failure to mitigate the damage. So now it's on Spotify. Spotify got to come around. Here they go being a Karen. Spotify got to come around and fire Rogan now. They done paid him too much money. Y'all done lost y'all damn mind. They done paid him too much money. And he causing y'all to have too much headaches for them to be like, yo, we gonna get rid of Rogan. Are you serious? 3 hours of just great content per episode. Y'all not about to snatch that from them. Huh? Continue. It says, we are a coalition. Y'all ain't no damn coalition. Let's just stop. Let's just stop. I'm gonna tell you what happened. Jessica, right? Jessica, where's she at? Right here. Jessica, look at her with a card. See her with a card? Huh? Passport Jessica. Right here. Jessica used her 380 something thousand followers on Instagram as clout to try and wrangle y'all together, put y'all together. Remember, what did they say in the article? Something has to be done. She said, when I saw, this is her words. This is Jessica. When I saw they were falling victim to this, I spoke to some colleagues and we said, something has to be done. She says, this is Jessica. So what really happened is not a coalition. You're not a coalition. You're a ragtag bunch of social media grifters. That's what you are. A ragtag bunch of social media grifters with degrees and an agenda. Soft as cookie dough. Soft as baby shit. We are a coalition of scientists. You called it. She got a BLM post. She got a BLM post? Where that? Did I miss it? Where is it? Show me where the BLM post is. Did I miss it? I knew it was one up here. Where is it? Building back better. So that's what happened. Jessica had to do something about it. So she went and got wrangled up, organized y'all folks, and said, hey, we got to do something about this. We're going to send a letter. A coalition. He ain't no damn coalition. George Floyd. There go George Floyd. There go to George Floyd. We already know where she lands. Oh no, she probably hated Trump. She probably still hate him. Oh, the George Floyd joint. Yeah, all right, I just seen it. Okay. Let's go back. So here it says a coalition of scientists, aka a ragtag bunch of social media grifters with degrees. Scientists, medical professionals, professors, and science communicators. Professors, basically re-education camp instructors and directors. Communicators spanning a wide range of fields such as microbiology, immunology, epidemiology. We already know what this is. This is data science. And neuroscience. This is dealing with the brain. And we are calling on Spotify to take action against the mass information events which continue to occur on its platform with an estimated 11 million listeners. Oh my God. 11 million listeners per episode. God damn. Jesus, mama. Joey Rogan. Hey, Joe, I'm coming back on the platform. We got to talk, man. We got a lot to talk about, man. Coming back soon, man. I might do a whole press run. I might do J.R. Reed, Tim Pool, and Fresh and Fit all in the same, like back to back to back. Let's continue. J.R. Reed is the world's largest podcast and has tremendous influence. Through Spotify Spotify has a responsibility to mitigate misinformation. So here they go right here. Mitigate. They keep wanting to mitigate. Relax. Somebody need to mitigate your feelings. That's what you need. You need to mitigate your emotions. And we got a Daily Beast article to get into right after this, so hang on. Throughout the Ninja Turtle pandemic, Joe Rogan has repeatedly spread misleading, they say, and false claims on his podcast, provoking distrust in science and medicine. He said he has discouraged vacation in young people and children. Why are you encouraging it? Incorrectly claimed that the Malone vacation are gene therapy. Promoted off-the-label use of the Avicin, the Mectin. Dr. Malone used a JRE platform to further promote numerous baseless claims, including several falsehoods about the vacations and unfounded theory that societal leaders have hypnotized the public. What? Unfounded theory? Unfounded? What makes it founded? When CNN says it? When CNN, I know these motherfuckers is hypnotized. I know the look of fluoride glazed over in the eyes look. I know what that look like. I don't need CNN, Don Lemon, Joyanne Reed to tell me what it looked like when someone is in a stupor, a permanent stupor. All I got to do is look at all the motherfuckers running around with a diaper on their face. I know a stupid motherfucker when I see one. I know a hypnotized motherfucker when I see one. Excuse my European. CG said Malone invented the technology. Oh, I read that one. I'm sorry. Thought I missed that one. Hypnotize the public. You did hypnotize them. You did. You did. Many of these statements have already been discredited. What did they link to here? Let's just read this. I'm not even going to go through the whole article. Experts debunk mass psychosis COVID theory. How you going to debunk? I can't even with these people. Psychology experts have explained that there is no evidence whatsoever to show that a theory aired on about people believing in mainstream ideas around what's the name is true. Around the Rona is true. What? Psychology experts. Basically what they're saying is, hey, the people that we gave Nobel Peace Prizes to, you know, the ones that we back, the ones that we finance, the ones that we approve, say what you people are saying is garbage. It's garbage. This is what y'all doing. This is what y'all saying. We don't agree with it, so it's not true. It's an unfounded claim. Nothing's a founded claim until the left says it's true. Cassius Cam, Moderna SEC filing says the mRNA is gene therapy. Top of page 70. Oh my God. Somebody post a link. We'll pull that up. We'll go through that and put that up here. Somebody find that for me. Post a link. DM the link. Tag me on Twitter, something. We'll pull that up. Let's go back to the this is the letter. This is the open letter to Spotify. The Karen's letter to Spotify. The average age of JRE listeners is 24 years old, and according to data from Washington State, on vacation, 12 to 34 year olds are 12 times more likely to be hospitalized with the Ninja Turtles than those who are fully vacation. Dr. Malone's interview has reached many tens of millions of listeners vulnerable to predatory medical misinformation. Last paragraph here, all they do is jerk themselves off. And then here signed are the list of Karens and Kens who have signed off on this ridiculous a coalition of scientists. Get out of here. So let's go to the Daily Beast article. You know this one's gonna be funny. Let's close that. Let's close that. Close that. Close that. Oh, here it is. So that was the open letter. We did the Rolling Stone. And we're gonna go here now. And let me make sure you can see all of this. Okay. Right here. Says Joe Rogan is mainstreaming right-wing misinformation. So again, you know what we do on this channel? We look things up. Let's see what they mean. When they say these words, we have to know what they mean. The term right-wing can generally refer to a section of a political party or system that advocates free enterprise and private ownership and typically favors socially traditional ideas. The right also includes certain groups who are social liberalism, also known as new liberalism in the United Kingdom, modern liberalism in the United States, left liberalism in Germany, and progressive liberalism in Spanish-speaking countries. Is a political philosophy and variety of liberalism that endorses a social market economy. I'll have to dive into that. But fiscally conservative. I've heard people use this modern, traditional, so liberal, and we'll get into that another time. Such as right-wing libertarians. So right here it says is generally defined by support of the view that certain social orders and hierarchies are inevitable, natural, normal, or desirable. Cool. So that's what Wiki says. So if you're not advocating for private ownership and free enterprise, basically what you want is you want slavery. You want to be owned and you want to own nothing. You want to be owned and you want to own nothing. You want equality under poverty. That's what you want. So let's come back. Let's see what right wing says in, we'll do another source for right wing. I want to do, all right, let's do dictionary.com. Members of a conservative or reactionary political party. Now this is true. This is what I tell people. I'm like, yo, the right is way too reactionary. Way too reactionary. This is true. Do not be reactionary. Do not be a reactionary political party. It means the left is just on your ass and you just trying to block. And those opposing extensive political reform. Right? Merriam Dictionary, what did they say? A rightist division of a group or party. And then let's go to Collins. Last one. Conservative or capitalist views. Political party consists of members who have conservative or the most capitalist views. I would say that's pretty accurate description. Real quick, you know what you have to do? There's a trick that you have to do with these things. You have to look at the example that they give you when they put these words in sentences. For example, they'll always give you like a example sentence. I'm sorry. Why is it giving me? Watch this. I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna put in right wing. It says example sentences. His nomination is supported by the party's left wing, but opposed by the right wing. So you see how they slip that in there? They slip the politics into the examples of the words. I hadn't viewed this. I just pulled this up knowing that they play games with the dictionary. Now, if you wanted to be a right-centric source, let me make sure the chat, y'all good? Everything good? They haven't cut my stream off yet? Cool. All right. You could have reworded this and said his nomination is supported by the right-wing party and opposed by the left, but they didn't do that. This is subconscious, and this is the hypnosis that they're denying. This is the hypnosis, but it says his nomination is supported by the party's left wing. This is an affirmative sentence for the left wing and makes these guys look like dissidents. So you have to look at the example sentences. Let's do another one. Let's do dictionary.com and see if they give us another example sentence. The union's right wing favored a moderate course of action. Okay, that's fair. It's tying this to unions, saying that unions are a right wing thing, and they can be. They've been used by the left a lot. Let's go to another one. Let's go to our beloved overlords over at Google. I'm going to type in right wing definition. And let's see what, okay, so here it says a candidate from the right wing of party with the, Right here. Look at this example sentence. Can you see this? Good, you can see it. Right wing, as defined by Google. Here's their example sentence. They do the same thing Merriam-Webster did. His allies are starting to push back against the mostly right-wing criticism. So again, this centers the left and says the left is great and subconsciously, and the right wing is just some ragtag bunch of insurrectionists. So you gotta be careful. Gotta be careful, man. You gotta be careful how they play with the language. Let's go back to the Daily Beast. What's the name? I'm sorry, that's not it. So right wing. We had to go down that rabbit hole really fast. Right wing. Know what you're talking about when you use these words. Did I not? Where's my highlights? Oh, they're over here. Hold on. All right. Let's close that. All right. You guys can see that? Let me see. Okay, you can see that. Good, good. Chat good. Still here? Awesome. Sent link for SEC filing. Did you? Top of page 70. SEC.gov. He said page 70. We going there right now. Hold on. Let's go to page 70. And we're gonna put this up on the screen. Okay, here it is. Page 70. And hold on. Matter of fact, I could do something better. I could just type in. There it go right there. It's right here. Oh man, Cassius Cam coming through. This is, see how they play with y'all? They can't mess with the Hoteps. They can't mess with the Hoteps, man. They can't mess with the Hoteps, man. We gonna look. This is the document from the SEC.gov. Now, where did they say that? Was it here? So it says, in the open letter, incorrectly claimed. This is what the open letter from these so-called scientists. It said he has discouraged the vacation in young people and children. Incorrectly claimed that mRNA vacations are gene therapy. Now, thanks to Cassius Cam, what does it say right here? And I believe this is a patent claim, right? United States Securities and Exchange. This is filed by Moderna with the SEC. This is the quarterly report. What does it say? Currently, mRNA is considered, says it right there, therapy. It says gene therapy. I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not trying to debunk nothing. I'm just telling you what the Moderna filing says. The Moderna filing says the mRNA is considered gene therapy by the FDA. It says it right there. It says it right there. What do you want me to do about that? I can't change what this report says. And the term gene therapy exists 11 times in this document. There have been a few approvals of gene therapy products in the United States. Come on. Come on, people. Come on, people. This is why we got a team. Shout out to Cassius Cam. Let's go back. You can see that? Make sure you can see that. You see that? Good. So, Daily Beast. The Joe Rogan Experience is off the cuff, unedited, and very often entirely off the rails. This is what y'all get from journalism. Entirely off the rails. Can you give just an ounce of objectivity for like half a second, please? But even as, or maybe because he's providing a platform for all sorts of unfiltered crazy, they don't care. They don't even care over there. Who is this? Who wrote this? Who wrote this? It just says the Daily Beast. It doesn't even, they didn't even tell you who writes these things. That's how you know this shit is just terrible. Come on. Is it at the end? Is it at the bottom of the article? Oh my God. There's no author name here. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I don't see one. Somebody tell me if I'm mistaken, but usually the author name is right here. This one just says the Daily Beast. We don't have an author. So the AI is pumping this shit out. The only person whose reach even approaches Rogan is Howard Stern. On the latest new abnormal, Alex Patterson of Media Matters, it's another rag, Media Matters, talks with hosts Molly Jung Fast and Andy Levy about how Rogan's podcast is a bastion of toxic masculinity. They love their words, man. That leads listeners further down right-wing rabbit holes. Remember we was talking about rabbit holes? Rabbit holes, great things. And notes that Rogan's dedicated listeners are mostly young men. Shout out to Rogan providing something else so necessary. Listening to all 3 hours and taking in completely unfounded conspiracy theories without any of the fact-checking that would come from more traditional journalistic enterprise. Fact-checking like the one I just did and found out y'all be lying. So they're mad that Spotify is platforming him, but here they are like, hey, but subscribe to New Abnormal on Spotify. Oh boy. I think we often view folks like Tucker Carlson as like our biggest white nationalist and problem in chief, says Patterson. What? Wait a second. They said Tucker Carlson is like our biggest white nationalist and problem in chief. Yo, if Tucker Carlson is white nationalist in chief, give me more of that. Give me more white nationalism. I need more of that. Pause, no homo. P-Dog Knight 24 times 0.001 equals, yeah, that's what I thought. Cassius Can, $2 super chat. He said, facts. Appreciate you, man. Good man. Came through clutch. Tucker Carlson, the biggest white nationalist and problem in chief. Wow. Whereas I am really trying to push the conversation to understand that Joe Rogan is often the person that is mainlining right-wing lies into our broader public. Oh my God, mainlining right-wing lies. Molly notes that before podcasting, Rogan, like and producer Jesse Cannon adds that Rogan has what I like to call the illusion of fact-checking. You know, when Jamie goes and does this thing. The Joe Rogan Experience fills a specific need, particularly among white men in the United States. He is filling a need. That is a need, because y'all ain't fulfilling the need. Y'all are giving people hot garbage, basura, and telling them to eat it. Nobody wants to eat garbage. We need fruit. We need la carne. Or is it el carne? To feel like they're independent thinkers. Oh my God. Oh my God. God forbid people start thinking they're independent and start thinking independently. God forbid, it says right here, I feel like they're independent thinkers. To feel like they're independent thinkers. God forbid you feel like you're an independent thinker. Y'all swear y'all independent thinkers, but really y'all under mass formation psychosis. Take that. Taking in some media landscape that is unique to them and is edgy, explains Patterson. And Rogan uses his producers to lend some veneer of credibility to false claims he makes. Shame on you, Joe. And when the comedian and MMA announcer gets called out for lies and bigotry promoted on his podcast, he has a very cunning way of avoiding accountability. Patterson continues, he says that he's a moron. Whoa. And that you shouldn't trust the things he says. Damn, you just gonna call my man a moron like that? Patterson sounds like you need to go up on a Joe Rogan experience. Actually, you don't even deserve it. You don't deserve that type of clout. So, Sam Woolley, author of The Reality Game, Grift, director of the Propaganda Lab so Samuel Woolley is director of the Propaganda Lab at the University of Austin Center for Media Engagement. So he's got his eagle eyes all over Joe Rogan. If he's in Austin, he's the whole school is looking at Rogan and studying Rogan. They probably got a degree in Rogan over there, at least a class or two. Rogan 101. Rogan Misinformation 201. Explains why the right is a lot better than the left at leveraging the internet. This is true at the micro level, the individual level. Yes, us as individuals, we're a lot better at using the internet, but I mean, so let's break this down really fast. Let's break this down really fast because we got to clear the air, because you can't just make a blatant statement like that, because the left controls the internet. You don't like something they say, they just ban you. So when we talk about the right is a lot better than the left at leveraging the internet, that's just wrong. They leverage their power. So let's just start right there. Second of all, it's not the right. It's not the right. It is the center. The right is like, when you say right, I think of like 45 plus white male pickup truck, Confederate flag construction worker, drinks beer and loves a good steak. That's who I think of. And that motherfucker does not know how to use the internet. I'm sorry, but most of those fools, he ain't even got no crypto. He ain't even got no crypto. Talking about he know how to leverage the internet. So when you say right, I'm like, all right, what age demographic are we talking about here? Are we talking about right, younger, or left? Because the left, they mobilize on that platform. They be having shit. We can go right to the trending topics right now if we wanted to. We can go right to the trending topics right now if we wanted to, and go look at the garbage and the filth that the left is spewing. So you can't say y'all don't leverage these platforms. Look what's trending. Joe Rogan, y'all mad. Talking about who leveraging social media. This ain't Jessica with 384K followers leveraging social media? What are you talking about? This is baseless. That's a baseless claim. I'm going to use that term, baseless. It's a baseless claim. Look at Jessica. She ain't right wing. She doing good for herself. CNN. Huh? 384,000 followers. What are you talking about? You know what it is? The people that are leveraging the internet have a fucking personality. Yours has been stripped from you by political correctness. And personality goes a lot farther than your cookie cutter square shit. And leveraging both, all right, that's enough of that. That's enough of that article. Daily Beast, y'all. First of all, real quick. Whoops. Like and subscribe right now. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe, most importantly. I don't really care about them likes. Make sure you subscribe and share. That's where it's really at. Subscribe and share. Oh, I got one more thing to show y'all. Hold on. Just so y'all know what we bout over here. Homeschool America. Y'all see that on the screen? Homeschool America. Let's put that right there. Boom, boom. We are working with the homeschool community all across America, empowering them. Shout out to now 30 donors. $2,158 raised. I mean, the more we push this, the more we're going to help homeschoolers. and make that life better for them. Can't wait to blow that program out and bring you guys some great information and some great content. But that's our mission over here at Hotep Nation. I just want to make sure that was clear. So let's wrap this thing up. Let's add some concluding statements here as to what happened. Joe Rogan expressed his freedom. He exercised his business contract with Spotify, leveraged the platform to give people voices that are voiceless. He provided the platform to yours truly. Do you realize that I hadn't been on CNN, MSNBC, Ebony, Fox, Jet? Black media did not touch me. Hot 97, Ebro Hot 97, New York City, #1 station for hip hop and R&B, said I am not allowed up there. I had an interview with a podcast scheduled up there, and they canceled it with another host. I was blackballed from left-wing media because I might wake people up. And you know who gave me a voice? You know who gave a voice to the voiceless? Joe Rogan. That's who. Joe Rogan gave me a platform. The largest podcast in the world said, we want to speak to Hotep Jesus. I said Fox, my bad. I didn't mean to say Fox. I think I meant to say something else. So, because they don't want people to know about people like me. They don't want the masses to know that there are people that think like me, that talk like me, that act like me, that know the things that I know. They hide me. They push me behind algorithms. But thankfully, Joe Rogan saves the fucking day. Gave me a platform so people can hear from me. Largest podcast in the world. That's what they are terrified of. They are terrified of the voiceless having a voice. They want to control the voice. You control the voice and you control the thoughts in people's heads. And that's what this is about. Again, this isn't a science conversation. This is a political one. It's an ideological one. It's nothing to do with science, nothing to do with numbers, nothing to do with math, nothing to do with data, nothing to do with... Actually, it has a lot to do with Fauci. In his lab. So, scientists like Jessica Malady Rivera, with her 384,000 followers, threw a Karen fit and said, I have to do something about this. So she created this ragtag group of scientists who parade under the veneer of a coalition. Call themselves a coalition, have the nerve, the gall, the gumption, the audacity to challenge Joe Rogan. We've already debunked their information. They said it wasn't gene therapy. We looked it up and found out that's what Moderna says it is. I don't know what the truth is. I'm just telling you what these people are saying. You said one thing. You said we are giving false information. Well, I guess Moderna's giving out false information too. Moderna must be some conspiracy theorists too. Can we say that? I don't think so. I don't think so. So she grabs 200 other doctors, says, hey, we're going to write a letter, AKA I'm going to write a letter. I'm going to clout chase off this. I'm going to clout chase and grift off of the Rogan wave so I can get some more Instagram followers, some more appearances on CNN, get my publicist to work a little bit harder. This is what she wants to do. She's going to grift. Somebody nominate this woman for Grifter of the Year on the Grifties. If y'all don't do it, I'm going to add it to the site right now. If somebody don't do it, I'm going to have to add it. Matter of fact, I'm about to add it to the Grifties right now. We're going to do this live. We are going to do this live right now. Shit. Hold on. Actually, I'll do it after. Go to grifties.com because I got to log in and I forgot my password. Go to grifties.com. Nominate. We're shooting the Grifties this weekend. Don't forget that. Nominate your favorite grifter. Vote. We got one up there already. We've cleared the board out from last year. So I'm going to put her up there. I'm going to nominate her for Grifty. She's going to be up there. You guys can go vote for her. So she gets upset. She grabs her little ragtag group of science friends, forces them to sign this letter, pulls a Karen fit, sends it to Spotify. Now we're waiting on how Spotify responds. I think, or I hope, Spotify stands 10 toes down, does not budge to these social media wimps, social justice wimps, crybabies, who are scared of some masculinity in their lives. That's what I hope. What the fuck? Okay. I don't think Joe Rogan has responded, but I'll be making my best effort to see him soon. Make my best effort to go see Joe Rogan soon, to go see Tim Cass soon. I've been putting these things off while working on myself. Been working on myself a lot lately. Working on my mentals, working on my YouTube channel. And I know if I take time away, I don't know how I'm going to do these lives as effective as I'm doing them now. But we'll figure that out. Maybe I'll miss a day or two because I'm traveling. So I apologize, but it's for a good cause. It's for a good reason. I'm Hotep Jesus. Y'all have a wonderful afternoon, man. Love y'all. Hotep and Bill.